Hello, my name is Jens Carl and welcome to my first deck tag ever. Little about myself, I'm a new Magic player. I just started playing 2 months ago. I've been hugely interested in the game since I first tried it though, and I've been really working in depth on learning the game more and just playing and playing and playing, and I'm really loving the game so far. My first deck that I really felt like that was going good is a blue-white heroic deck. The deck is kind of standard, but has some variation of what I saw on the internet. There are definitely many decks on the internet of the blue-white heroic, and my deck is kind of different. So I thought I would show you, and maybe it's horrible, maybe it's good, but in the best case, I can be an inspiration to some other players out there. Okay, so first of all, I will start going through the lands since it will give a general idea of how the deck looks like mana wise. First up, we are playing 7 islands. The 7 islands is out of 22 land cards, so we are running 22 land cards. When I first made this deck, I thought it would be an aggro deck, which is Azorius, so I thought I only should run 20 cards in it. A lot of my friends, however, convinced me that 22 cards were much more solid, and I tried it out and I found out that 22 cards is way more solid than 20 cards. You really need those mana, and with 22 cards I find myself mulliganing a lot less. Next up we have 11 planes. Now we do have many white cards in this deck compared to blue cards. Most of our blue cards is in form of spells, and almost all our creatures is white cards, so that's why we are running 11 white cards. But because we could not just straight up run 15 white cards, we plain cards, the name is planes, we are running some different dual color lands. We are running 3 Azorius Guildgates, and I think 3 is a good amount because while a tap land is not very good in aggro, it can always really be helpful, and it can really help stabilize your mana base. Also, we only have 4 1-drops in the deck, or 3, sorry. So playing an Azorius Guildgate on turn 1 is more than beneficial for you. The last 2 mana we have is a Hallowed Fountain, which I have been so lucky to draw. I should also just point out that since I am a new player, I do not have a very large card base, and I am kind of playing on a budget. So while I will have some random one-offs, this will of course be changed by whoever is becoming inspired of my deck. So just take it as an inspiration. I would definitely run 4 Hallowed Fountains if I could. It's an amazing instant land card that doesn't untap if you pay 2 life, which I will gladly do. So yeah, many of the new cards in Gen of the Nooks is also very good, and the best card I found is the Mana Confluence for lands. At least I think it's amazingly good card. I don't know if it's a reprint, since I am new to Magic, but I just think it's insanely good, and I would gladly run 4 of this guy, even though I'm only running dual lands. Just being able to make sure that you can use every land, every kind of mana you want is, I think, just amazing. So that's it for the mana base. Nothing too flashy, I think. I think you guys probably will have a lot more advanced land cards than I do. But if we move on to creatures, now this is where it gets a little more interesting. For creatures, we have 8 of our 18 creatures that are our main beaters of the deck. It is 4 Akroan Skyguards and 4 Battlewise Hoplites. Now, these two fellows are our backbone of the heroic strategy. They are both obviously heroic triggers, and both have their own unique effect. Akroan Skyguard is an amazing card, I think, just because of the flying. Really, I have found that a lot of flying is just a powerful spell ability in Magic, and 2 mana for a 1/1 fly in itself is not terrible bad, I think. But plusing the heroic figures just make this card very good, and the mana cost is also very flexible. You will almost always be able to play him turn 2. Battlewise Hoplite can sometimes be a bit tricky to get off turn 2, is my experience, but it's certainly not hard at all, and he is just amazing. He's a jolly little fellow that is 1 strength, 1 +1/+1 over the Akroan Skyguard. He's a 2/2 instead of a 1/1, which helps a ton in accelerating your heroic. But the best thing about him is the scry, which is just amazing in a aggro deck. I feel like you always want to have your mana fast, but after you get your mana, you just want to get rid of it. And scrying helps so much getting rid of excess mana or land cards, should I say. So I just think it's amazing scry, and it's very nice that he gets buffed that much faster. Okay, so next up we have 4 guys that aren't our main beaters, but are still heroic trigger cards, since I think 8 heroic cards is a bit too short. I've included 4 others that can work as excellent alternatives. First off, we have 3 Favored Hoplites. Now, I only play 3 of this guy because I do only have 3 of him. If I had 4, I would play 4. It's a no-brainer. This card is extremely good, I think. So only 1 drop in the deck, which makes the deck a bit slower, but I have actually not had a lot of problems with not having 1 drops on my hand all the time. He's excellent if you get him though in your first hand, opening hand, and the best thing about him is of course his ability to hinder damage when you heroic buffs him, which is just amazing. He can block almost any creatures. If you just pop him with an heroic ability, he will be able to take no damage in blocking, which will kind of secure your early game. Also, just having a 2/3 turn 2, or yeah, if you just buff him, is just insanely good. Our next one card, a heroic trigger card, is 1 Phalanx Leader. Now this guy I had 4 of, but I do not want to run 4 of him in the deck. Actually, I started with putting 4 of him in the deck, but since I've been playtesting, I really felt like he weren't doing anything at all. Like there's so many drawbacks about him. The first drawback is a 1/1 for 2 is bad. That's a drawback right there. The second drawback, I think that is a very big drawback, is the 2 planes cost. While the 2 planes cost isn't impossible to get, it is certainly not beneficial for you in turn 2 to have 2 planes. If you look on any other card in the deck, like if you have 2 planes, you are not able to use any blue spells, which is a great hindrance. Of course, you can play this guy later in the game, and that's exactly why I included him. Partially because I didn't have a favorite hoplite, and second part because he can actually be good sometimes. There's a reason that many people like him. Of course, the great thing about him is that he buffs your whole board. But that is not the greatest thing in the world when this deck only tries to have 1 or 2 heroic creatures on the board. Like, I do not want anything more than a Battlewise and an Akroan, or 2 of each. More than that is excessive and will only happen if you are unlucky with your draws. This deck goes on protecting your heroic monsters, so having more of them is really not necessary, and is actually not beneficial at all, because pumping 4 guys is that much harder than pumping 1 guy, but it can be done with the Phalanx Leader, and that's why I have only included 1 of him. Now, for the last creatures, we have 4 bestow creatures, and that is an Eidolon of countless battles and 3 Hopeful Eidolons. Now, I like bestow. I really love it in a heroic deck. I think it's amazing in an heroic deck. The reason why I only include 4 is because I found that 4 is the magic number for bestow creatures. The bestow creatures, I would like to break them into 2 halves. The first half is ability to being a bestow creature, like being a creature, so that if your heroic dude dies, it will pop off and you will have this Hopeful Eidolon on the field. That is the first half. Now this first half of the effect is actually not very beneficial for heroic decks. It's very nice that you have something left when your heroic buffed up guy dies, but we do not plan on him dying very often, and this will not help us very much, and hopefully 1/1 lifelink will not help us very much, since we are not happy buffing something that does not have heroic. So the second half, however, is the text on the creatures, like the 1/1 lifelink plus and the insane boost that Eidolon gives is just amazing. It's a type of thing that's mostly on enchantments, but is a bit more expensive than enchantments, but in some ways also more unique, and like the card says, is geniusly giving creature-like abilities to other creatures, which is just insane. And Eidolon of Countless Battle is just a lovely card. I think it gives 4+, sometimes 5+. More than none, it gives an insane boost, and I would definitely run 4 of this guy if I had, but I only have 1. At least it's foil. But this guy is just amazing. 4 cost is maybe a bit expensive, but it's nice for topping off. Like, this is the 4 cost is the most expensive thing in the game, and we only have 4 of them. But it's actually just fine. With 4 cost, it's nice for topping off, and while Hopeful Eidolon isn't the fastest card in the game, it will certainly help you win races. It will help your enemy to focus on your heroic dude rather than just ignoring him, which we actually do not like. And it's just a nice mana filler, and nice if the match goes slow. You can suddenly play him without losing very much. If the opponent tries to stall you, you can just use this, tap all your mana and or all except 1, and you can feel good about yourself because you have used your mana this turn. So that's why I run these guys. So yeah,